butter. All right. And you could totally even, you could serve this. I think this would be really nice. Served, this pork would even be really nice served on like a nachos and cheese platter. You know, like you can go out to a restaurant and order chicken or taco meat on your nacho platter. I think this meat can shred up really nicely, and we're going to shred it up, and you'll be able to see how nicely it would look even on the top of a nacho platter if the tacos aren't your thing. All right, this one, and there's some red onion. Red onion is another one of those ingredients. I love, part of my favorite thing about doing this is teaching you some new foods to try. Do you cook with red onion? Yes. So tell me why you like red onions. I'm interactive, I hope you know that. Why do you like cooking with red onion?
Sweet.
Yep. It's what?
The raw adds color.
It adds color. That's a big one, right? Yep. We hear a lot about adding color to our diet. It has a really distinct flavor. Like, you know, you can know when you've added onion to your sub sandwich, red onion. And it's a really nice one raw. Obviously, diced up nice and small. That's how I like it. Cooked on the side of a salad. It's my favorite one. If you've ever like spiralized any vegetables, it's my favorite one to kind of get this beautiful little spiral out for the top of my salad. All right, we're going to see if we can get that onion a little smaller because some people don't love it. Whoops. There we go. We've got 5 minutes left on our pork. How am I doing for time? Oh, good. We got time. We started a little late, so we're good. Okay, some onion.
You can smell that.
Oh, it's looking for my spatula. I don't think I'm going to add all of this in. I need to be quite a bit. Okay. And the last thing is going to be some red onion. So, like, look at this salsa. Can you see it? How fun is its color palette, right? And so, if you're serving this, like, if you get some friends over for taco night, calls for about a tablespoon. So that's probably about a tablespoon. This is cooking. Baking, I know you have to be specific. But when we're cooking, we get to have a little bit more fun. Right, Chef Pam?
Amy,
Absolutely.
your last thing is the pepper.
My last thing is the, okay, so here, can you see it now? Okay, perfect. I should have looked over. Thanks, guys. That's why we're a team. All right, the last thing we're gonna do is the red pepper. So again, we're gonna take out all the seeds.
See, I don't like peppers at all.
Save the top, because that's all good stuff. Red pepper's my favorite. I think even though all the colored peppers are kind of all ripe ones, which makes them all kind of have similar flavor, I think the red one has the nicest flavor. I'm no scientist, I don't know why that is.
That's the way I like peppers. Green peppers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's all.
It's right in there. Just toss that in. Dice it up a little bit more. And we are going to have our salsa done right in time for our pork to be done. And then we will be able to see some circles. Does anybody have any questions about pressure cookers, about cooking with them, about the kind of things you're brave enough to cook? Back to the one pot thing. So I think most pressure cookers come with a rack, but what I love about this, so back to that whole one pot for dinner thing, I guess I didn't bring the rack. There's a rack that sits in the bottom of this. So I actually, if I was making just a regular pork tenderloin at home, I would actually put this and fill it with rice and put it in there as well. So I'd be cooking my rice and my meat all in the same pot all at the same time. And these both go in the dishwasher. So when supper is done, it's the most dreamy meal to clean up after because there's no dishes. Just whatever you've cooked a vegetable in. Which vegetables in my house don't take a ton of dishes. It's usually a stir-fried veggie and a frozen pea. So those don't take much. So look at how beautiful this salsa is. You're gonna get to sample this in a minute. We will just make sure. But can you see, I mean, I added a little bit of lime juice, so, you know, on a traditional apple that wouldn't totally brown up. But what I love about this is that even if you left this in the fridge till tomorrow, that red onion is really gonna settle it in, but your apple isn't gonna go soggy or brown. And that's a big win with both the ambrosia, especially partnering the ambrosia with a bit of a lime juice. It's really gonna give you longevity, especially if you are a prep ahead kind of person. We were talking earlier about cooking on the weekend for the week. And this is the kind of thing you would totally make on a Sunday and know that you could still eat it with your leftovers on Tuesday. You know, it might be the kind of thing that if I was gonna do that, I might leave the onion out or just add a little bit so that that onion flavor didn't overpower it all. But a really, really nice addition. I'm just gonna clear this out of the way for a second because I want to bring out some of our meat. A little clean cutting board. And it is going to beep here in 1 minute. So this is the part that people get really nervous about because once it's done cooking, we have to depressurize it. And so the key to depressurizing it and not burning yourself is not putting your hand over the steam. It's really not that complicated. And I think we don't have to worry about, as long as you're keeping your hand away. The nice thing about this one is that the steam release button is way down here and the steam comes out way up here. So you're a lot safer than some of the ones that you actually have to tap the steam valve to open them up. So that's one of the big things. I did mashed potatoes, or just regular potatoes. Oh, there it goes. All right. I did regular potatoes in like 7 minutes the other day. So we're going to release the steam. Takes a minute just to get it all out. Because the lid will not unlock until the steam has been released. So that's the big, what?
What did you use when you seared the meat in there? What?
Oh, good question. It was cumin and chili lime, and chili seasoning, just mixed together.
Did you put oil in it?
What's that?
Did you put oil or water in
Yeah,
it?
so in the bottom of the pot I put oil and let the oil heat for about 3 minutes and then I toss the rest in. Yeah. I think the other thing that surprised me about this recipe that I think is one of my favorite parts about it is that in these 8 minutes, those onions and peppers are not overcooked. I'm a huge anti-overcooker. I think you can't really enjoy too many things if they're overcooked. So, almost done. It's the only part that needs patience, especially when you're hungry. Anybody get hangry? It's quiet in here this afternoon, so there'll be lots of samples. There was lots of meat in there. All right. Can you hear it sing? That's my other favorite part, is it sings. Can you see that? Look how awesome that looks in there. Juice, oh yeah, that's all totally cooked. And I love the onions and the, okay. So this is really as complicated as it gets. Now if you want it more shredded, you just go in and shred it all up.
Must be another handy dandy.
And then you have like a nice shredded, back to that stuff we're seeing on, having on our tacos. You'd have a really nice shredded product. Otherwise it creates a really nice, I mean, whatever size of cube you put in there. So that is our pork in a pressure cooker. I think like the fact that we just did tenderloin in 11 minutes, I think that is the big win with a pressure cooker. And I think that that's what, you know, the idea of them makes us nervous, but if we could get on to the idea, we could actually cook more healthy things and cook more meals at home because dinner only took 11 minutes, right? I don't even have time to call the pizza guy and figure out what we're ordering in 11 minutes, let alone if that's thawed and ready to go, it's done. So, and it's moist and fresh and juicy. And this one, last time we made it, we probably had leftovers for 2 or 3 days that the boys took to school and work and just loved it, even as it sat in those juices and in those flavors over the next few days. So does anyone have any other questions? Awesome. Wow, thank you for watching and come and get a sample.